Bam, 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 bam. What's going on, everybody? We are live here talking about 13 things I've learned since I started eating cooked food again. Just want to let you know that this video isn't going to be up for long. I'm doing it live, and if you're watching the replay, it may be up for 24, 48 hours. After that, I can delete it and make a better, high-quality version. I just wanted to go live now, get my thoughts out, maybe answer a few questions, and just share with you guys what I've learned after eating cooked food now for the past, how long have I been doing it here? Like 2 months maybe? Yeah, 2 months on cooked food. So this is what I've learned, right? It was going to be called 10 things I've learned. I added 3 more things. Now it's 13 things I've learned from eating cooked food. First one, unlike fruit, where when you eat a fruit meal, the first bite is usually amazing. It continues to be amazing until the very, very end. With cooked food, the first few bites are the best. And after that, it's less good. You'll still eat it because you're hungry, but it's less as exciting, less amazing. And I remember talking with Freely about that too. We were on the bus in downtown New York, and she was telling me how the first few bites are always pretty good, and after that, it's not that great. And I couldn't relate because with fruit, the first bite's amazing, and the last bite's amazing, and then you stop eating because you're full or you run out of fruit. But with cooked food, after those first few spoonfuls, first few forkfuls, you're like, okay, like what else is out there? Which is why, like, cooked food people, I think they have so much freaking variety because it's like after those first few bites, you want something else, you want something new. But with fruit, you're happy to do a mono meal of just mangoes or just bananas even. So that's really interesting. The first few bites, cooked food are the best. After that, kind of ramps down. The second thing I've learned about cooked food is with cooked food, when I'm waiting for it, I'm a lot less patient. Like, I want it now. I'm like a little kid, like, give me the food now. Whereas with fruit, I'm like, dude, I'll wait, half hour, an hour, 2 hours, no problem. But with cooked food, like when I'm waiting in line at a restaurant or I'm even waiting in the kitchen for the food to be cooked, I'm like so like less patient. I'm like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. That's really interesting. It's like a little kid with candy. So that's just interesting. I wasn't that way with fruit at all. I could happily wait for the smoothie to be made, the salad to be made. Not interested at all. I was just busy on the computer, going to fitness, whatever. But with cooked food, it's like, okay, like when is it coming? I want it now. Third thing I've noticed is that this is even true with raw food, but with cooked food, you may see people eating some really complex meals on YouTube. You may be seeing like mukbangs and ASMR, people eating really complicated meals. If you see anyone eating a complicated cooked food meal, you can guarantee that that shit's not digesting well at all. Or maybe it's just me, but I'm keeping my meal super, super simple, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 ingredients, and they all combine well together. And it's still not digesting anywhere near as well as with raw food. Raw food digests way better. To make sure cooked food digests really well, I got to keep it super, super simple. Not mix the fats and the sugars, and not even mix like super high protein foods with super high carbohydrate foods, like mixing like squashes with like quinoa, for example. Just not going to digest well. Um, Squashes are fruits, so maybe there's some play in that. But point is, I got to keep it super simple with cooked food. I thought I could mix it up more and have more complicated meals. Nah, got to keep it uber simple. Today was good. We had the most big bowl of quinoa and we have on there some herbs, some quinoa and some cilantro and green onion and stuff, and that was really good. And some pigeon peas. So quinoa and peas mixed together goes well. The fourth thing is, when it comes to having a big bowl of cooked food, like I like to have, like to do intermittent fasting, have most of my calories in one sitting. If the whole meal is just plain cooked, it feels like it's like I said, those first few bites are the best. After that, it's like kind of draining. But if there's raw food in there, like spinach or lettuce or herbs like cilantro or green onion, parsley, whatever, every spoonful I get or forkful I get with the raw food in there, I'm like, yes, it feels fresh. It tastes great. It's amazing. It feels like really nutritious. So the fourth tip or the fourth lesson I learned is, even if you're having a cooked meal, add in a bunch of raw greens, add in a bunch of raw herbs that it still tastes so that the food tastes fresh and alive. And so still incorporate the raw foods into the cooked food. Get as much raw food in there as you can. And I want to just take a break here and pause and let you guys know that I believe that a fruit-based diet is the best diet on the planet still. Despite eating cooked food, I still firmly believe that the fruit diet is the best diet for humans. We're designed for fruit. We can eat it with no consequences. there's going to be consequences with cooked food. And I just so happen to be eating it now because it's helping me accomplish one of my goals, which I talked a lot about in a separate video. I'm not going to go into that in detail here, but I still believe that a raw food diet, a fruit-based diet specifically, is the best diet for humans. And with cooked food, I'm learning about all these different consequences. I'm explaining those consequences to you here in this video. So yeah, that's the fourth tip, is add raw foods to your cooked food meals if you want to make it feel fresh. The fifth thing I've learned is I see a lot of people on YouTube, they're baking their food, they're frying their food, they're dehydrating their food. I don't like to do any of that stuff with my cooked food. All of my cooked food is boiled. I'm infusing water into my foods. So I take a dry potato or dry sweet potato, for example, or a yam, I'll add it to the pot, add water, and boil it up, and the water goes in there, hydrates the sweet potato, and I eat it then. Same thing with quinoa, same thing with buckwheat. Add to the pot, add water, boil it up, the water goes into the quinoa, into the buckwheat, kind of like sprouts the quinoa, sprouts the buckwheat, and then I eat that. So I'm not eating anything baked or dehydrated. Yeah, that would suck. That would make me really, really thirsty and drain my energy levels a lot more than it already is. Someone's asking about energy changes, energy levels. Yes, we'll talk about that in just a sec. The other question from Tiago is saying, impatience probably because we subconsciously know that it's going to take time until the cooked food is cooked. Fruits, we know it's ready to eat at any moment. Yeah, I thought about that. Or Kara mentioned that. She's like, yeah, but the thing with raw foods, it's always ready. It was cooked food, it's like a short window of it being ready. But that's not even the case here, because like I feel this urgency even with like some bagged edamame beans that aren't going to go bad. You know, some prepackaged cooked food, it's not going to go bad. I still feel that impatience, like I want to eat it now. So it's not the fact that it's like freshly cooked, it's just that it's cooked food in general. And it's like I'm driven to like want to get it now. But anyways, the fifth tip there was to boil the food, not to bake it. Right? You want to hydrate it if you're going to eat it at all. The sixth tip is I definitely have less mental clarity and more fatigue. It's that simple. On a fruit diet, one of the biggest reported benefits that everyone experiences when they adopt a fruit-based diet is mental clarity. They just don't feel heavy, they don't feel bogged down. They feel light, they feel sharp, they feel like laser focused, and you just don't get that with cooked food. It's just heavier. Maybe I'm eating too much cooked food. I don't know. Maybe I need to eat less cooked food and more raw food. But point is, with the amount of cooked food I'm eating, I'm definitely having less mental clarity and I'm having some more fatigue. It's not detrimental. You know, I can still focus. I can still get a lot of work done. I'm still 100 times more productive than 99% of the people out there, I believe, just because I'm always working here and always doing some sort of, I'm always building, always doing something. I'm not just sitting watching TV and sitting watching YouTube videos or things like that. Like I'm always building, I'm always actively engaged in things. Cooked food hasn't derailed that. I thought maybe if I start eating cooked food, I'd just sit back and watch Netflix and chill like a zombie, but I got goals I got to work on. So not letting cooked food get in the way of that, but definitely feeling less mentally sharp and a bit more fatigued. Been taking naps lately, which I'm not used to taking naps. So it could just be Panama because it's hot here in Panama, or it could be the cooked food catching up to me now over the past couple months of eating it. Now I'm starting to need to take naps every day. I wasn't taking naps in Canada, but it could just be the hot weather here. The seventh thing I've learned, the seventh lesson I've learned about cooked food is that not all cooked food is created equal. So you can't just like, I mean, you can if you want. I did for years. You can't just like lump all cooked food into one category and say it's all crap. It ranges. It's just like fruit. You know, not all fruit's amazing. Some fruit sucks. Some veggies suck. Same thing with cooked food. Some cooked food is horrible. Like we were walking the gym today at like 9 a.m. and we see this lady eating like a fried donut. You know, and we're like, she's eating that drug at like 9 a.m. drugging herself at 9 a.m. with a fried donut. And then on the way home from the gym, we see like this people get off the bus and like 6 fat people get off the bus. And we're like, wow, everyone here is so freaking fat. We're like, looking at them eating. They're eating like bags of like fried chips, you know? And that's just garbage, man. Like compare fried chips and fried donuts to like what I'm eating. I'm eating like really good stuff. I'm eating like plain quinoa and some sweet peas on there, you know, with fresh herbs on there. So really, really clean. So not all cooked food is created equal, but it's all definitely nowhere near as good as fresh, raw, living foods. That's for sure. Okay. Jalen says, what's going on, dude? If you guys haven't checked out Jalen's channel, go check out Jalen's channel. He's cranking out content every single day. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. Rolf is saying, is impatience caused by the addictive nature of cooked food? Yeah, I believe so. I definitely believe so. Um, Juan says, "Why do you care about how your body looks? Really spiritually doesn't care about the outside. That's the ego." Yeah, Juan, it's easy to say that, right? It's easy to give that lip service, but like if you really didn't care about how your body looked, then you'd take a felt pen, or you'd let me take a felt pen to your face and write like, I'm an idiot on here, or like just draw like stupid faces and sharpies and like tattoo your face. Like you wouldn't want to tattoo your body, and you wouldn't want to like shave half your head off and like have a horrible haircut, right? You wouldn't want to wear girl clothing if you're a guy and you want to, feel like a guy or whatever. Like we care about how we look. It's human nature. Some people obsess about how they look, like they're OCD about how they look. Other people don't care about at all how they look, and they're just like, very scrubby. Um, Kara's raising her hand. She actually does care about how she looks. She's just putting it in front. She dresses like yeah. I'm not going to go into Kara right now, but she cares about how she looks too. We all care about how we look. And Juan's referring to why I'm eating cooked food. I'm eating cooked food now because I want to be a bit bigger, a bit more muscular, and it's definitely working. We're going to talk about that in a sec. But raw food's definitely the best. Raw food's definitely the best way to go. Cooked food is just helping me accomplish a goal right now. So that's important to keep in mind. The next thing, the eighth thing, is with cooked food. And I want you guys to spread this message to all the cooked food eaters out there, all the cooked vegans making vlogs and stuff. You don't need oil. You don't need oil to eat a cooked food diet. Like all my meals have been so delicious. They've been so satisfying. They've been so nutrient dense. And I haven't need to add any oil. What the hell do you add oil for? Oil's going to get in the way of your digestion. It's going to slow things down. It can cause breakouts, cause oily skin. Like I don't have oily skin. Maybe you see glistening right now. It's because I'm sweating because it's freaking hot here. But if I was eating oil, I'd be greasy. I'm not greasy. It's amazing. So that's something I've learned. I thought I maybe need to add oil when I start cooking food. You definitely don't need oil. But the ninth tip is that you do need salt. Right? You do need salt. Like the only cooked food you can eat enjoyably without salt is cooked fruit, like cooked pineapple or cooked tomato sauce, or even like some cooked spinach maybe or whatever. But all cooked food tastes way better with salt. You're not going to find a single recipe book out there, cooked food recipe book, that doesn't have salt in it, unless it's a salt-free recipe book. Every single cooked food recipe in the world has salt, unless it's a salt-free dedicated cookbook. So that's the ninth thing, is like you definitely need to add a little bit of salt to everything. Not a lot, but a little bit. The 10th thing I've learned about cooked food is that unlike fruit, where I can eat the same thing every day, where I can have the same smoothie every day, like banana, blueberry, spinach smoothie, I can have that every day, no problem. And I look forward to having it every day. I want the same thing every day. Unlike fruit, where you can do that, cooked food, always mixing it up. I'm like, ooh, what are we gonna have today? And I get excited about picking. Maybe we'll have quinoa and buckwheat, or maybe we'll have pure quinoa. Maybe we'll have some quinoa and some like wild rice. Maybe we'll have some yams, sweet potatoes. Maybe we'll mix all three together. Quinoa, sweet potatoes, and yams. Maybe we'll have squash. I'm always mixing it up. It's like, why can't I just be satisfied with the same thing every single day? And nobody does that. Nobody eats the exact same cooked food every single day. It gets really boring. But with fruit, you can do that. And so when people find out you eat a fruit-based diet or a pure fruit diet, they're like, don't you get bored of just mangoes every day or just coconuts every day? And you're like, how could you get bored of mangoes and coconuts? They're the best. Like you never get sick of it. It's always good. But with cooked food, always mixing it up. Still keeping it simple, but always mixing it up. Always adding in or taking out little things. Thinking that, oh, this will be the best concoction. It's all like a meth cooking experiment. You're trying to like cook the best drugs. It's very much like that. So yeah, that's interesting. The 11th thing I've noticed is, and I was really scared of this. This is why I was putting off eating cooked food for the longest time. I thought I would end up binge eating and like overeating and stuffing myself and like hurting myself with cooked food like I had in the past. And I was learning to transition away from cooked into fully raw. Now that I've consciously and openly, allowed myself to eat cooked food, I'm not binging at all. I'm eating appropriate amounts. I'm not stuffing myself. I'm not like putting myself into major food comas. There's a bit of a food coma afterwards, but it's not like I'm hurting or like I regret eating anything. I haven't regretted eating a single meal. So I've been keeping things super, super clean. But yeah, that's one thing right there. It's a big one. Like I don't need to binge. I thought I did need to binge. And I think the reason I was binging in the past was because I wasn't allowing myself to have it. right? I was like, oh, let's do raw, 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 and I was like resisting the cooked. And so when I would slip up and have it, I'd go binge hardcore into it. So what you resist persists. So then I just allowed myself to have the cooked food for years, but I never had it. Like, I can have it if I want, but I don't want it. I want it raw. So people are like, oh, can you eat this? Can you eat that? And I was like, yeah, of course I can, but I don't want to. I love the raw food. I love the fruit. Now that I allow myself to eat the cooked food, I'm not binging. I'm like, yeah, I can have it. I do have it, but I'm not binging. It's always there. And that's a side benefit, side bonus here. I guess tip number or lesson number 11 and a half after I don't need to binge, it's I can stock up on this stuff. Like I can spend like $200 and have enough food for a month, with quinoa and buckwheat. I can stock up for super cheap. And I don't mind spending money on fruit. Today I spent today it's like $80 on durian, $75 on durian. So it's like whatever money I do save on cooked food, I'm just spending on durian. But it's just nice to know that, hey, like if I want to just be super frugal one month, I can spend like, 30, $40 or something and get enough food for an entire month. It's amazing. So that's that. It's cheaper and you can stock up. It's very convenient. You don't need to keep going shopping all the time like with fruit. The 12th tip is that leftovers suck. I was looking forward to leftovers. I thought I could cook a bunch of food, eat it one day, and the next day have leftovers. But dude, cooked food alone is like, okay, so there's like raw food life force. It's like buzzing high. Then you cook the food, it like cuts the life force. Like if you cook raw food, it takes life force whatever it had and it brings it down to like, let's say 10% life force left, or maybe none. Maybe there's like 1% life force left. But then if you leave that overnight and you eat it like the next day or the next night, now it's got like none. It's got like anti-life force. It's got like drain force. It's got like death force. So you're not eating life force anymore. When you're eating leftovers, you're eating death force. So I don't like eating leftovers. It's just ugh. It's just so. It's like feels like I'm eating packaged goods. It's just there's nothing in it. There's some calories, some macros, but you don't feel amazing. You don't feel like after eating leftovers. Before I talk about the last tip, I want to get some questions from you guys. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, and I'll address the 13th lesson I've learned from eating cooked food. Ted, I need help. So many people I admired highly are adding animal products to their diet. They're saying there are issues with retinol creation, vitamin D, B12, calcium absorption. I don't want to get into this, obviously, if I can avoid it. I look up to you and really hope you can put my mind at ease. Kara? The people who are, let's just say this, okay? There's more to life than just diet. There's more to life than diet. There's your whole fitness in life. There's your business, there's your finances, there's your family, there's your relationships, there's your spirituality, there's your hobbies, there's your creative expressions, right? There's so much to life. And then there's diet, okay? So imagine if like you're into like heavily into painting, like you're not into raw foods much, but you're into painting, you're into arts. And like all of your favorite painters are painting on like canvas, okay? And canvas is like the best. It's best for the environment, it's best for the animals, it's best for your body, whatever you're painting on canvas. And then one by one, these painters, they start painting canvas and they start doing spray painting. And oh my God, like they're all spray painting now. Should I spray paint too? Should I drop canvas and go spray paint too? Like, I know it's slightly different because when you're eating animals, like you're supporting a cruel industry. But like it's like the same thing applies. Like it's trendy. Like it's trendy to become vegan. It's trendy to become fruitarian. It's trendy to then go back and eat meat. Like these things are trendy, and you can choose to get caught up in the trends, or you can choose to follow your heart and do what's right for you. And I wouldn't recommend watching any content from people who are eating meat. I would stay away from that crap because humans were so easily influenced. Like I was influenced to become vegan. I was influenced to become raw vegan. Heavily influenced. I'm easily influenced. You could influence me to do anything. If I was surrounded by like 20 people smoking weed, I'd probably start smoking weed. I'm easily influenced. So I intentionally seek out people who have the results I want in my life, and I focus on that aspect of their life. Like, let's say there's a guy who's really good at doing pull-ups, but he also happens to eat meat. I'm going to ignore the fact that he eats meat and focus on his pull-ups. And I'm going to take everything I can and soak up like a sponge his pull-up gains, right? But if he's talking about meat or nutrition, I just won't listen to that. I just focus on the pull-ups. And so there may be people that you watch who are eating meat again, but they're also great painters or skateboarders or something or surfers. Just focus on that aspect. There's more to life than just diet. Okay. And there's so many long-term successful healthy vegans. So don't worry about this little trend, this little phase of people saying like, "Oh, give me attention. I'm gonna go back to eating meat. Give me some attention." You're gonna like if you switch up from eating vegan to going to eating carnivore meat, you're gonna get results. Like it's just what happens. Same thing when you happen to switch from carnivore to eating vegan. Like there's gonna be results. If things happen, when you shift, when you make a change, changes happen, and it's easy to go on YouTube and start selling people on these benefits to help justify what you're doing. And yeah. Just look at all the healthy, happy, long-term raw vegans and vegans. Not just raw vegans, but vegans. Okay, Jalen, really appreciate you making these videos. Thank you, bro. Thanks for watching. Liz says, raw 80%, then cooked on weekends. Raw and fasting bulletproofs the spiritual body. Yes, I'm a huge proponent of raw foods, huge proponent of fasting as well. Huge proponent of fasting. Fasting is the best. Kara, that shirt looks good in you. That shirt looks good. I've never seen it before. Nice tight fit. Blood Raven says, Life Force vegan gains would say you're just mentally ill. A lot of people are going to say I'm mentally ill. Sometimes I think I'm mentally ill. Kara's nodding. She's like, yeah, for sure I'm mentally ill. Do you juice fast? No, I don't. I have, but I don't. Kara does. Thank you for the genuine answer. You're very welcome. Okay, Ted, biologist Bruce Lipton says cooked food is the exact same on a micro DNA level. I watched a spiritual YouTuber saying raw vegans are energy vampires and zap the energy off others due to malnutrition. That is so funny. I've never heard of that before, but that's funny. Okay, last thing, the 13th thing I've learned about cooked food is, and by the way, if you guys want to learn more about raw foods and even cooked foods, but if you want to learn about diet more and the whole lifestyle, while eating a super clean 100% raw vegan diet with me for 4 days this coming summer in August, definitely head over to the CanadaVeganFest.ca, their website, CanadaVeganFest.ca, and you can sign up to get on the wait list, and we'll be dropping heavily discounted tickets for the first 50 people on that list when the time comes. But the 13th lesson I've learned from cooked food is that it is super, super, super easy, and I'm grateful for this because this is why I started eating cooked food. It's super easy to gain weight. Incredibly easy to gain weight. If I wanted to be 180 pounds, I could probably already be 180 pounds by now. Over the past couple months, like I put on weight so quickly, and I've been resisting overeating. I've been like having to like stop myself from overeating. Like I could eat more and eat more. I could easily eat like 6,000 calories in a day. It's so easy to gain weight on cooked food. It's so easy to eat so many calories. But what I found already, I got to like 162 pounds or something. Like I don't look good when I'm carrying a lot of fat on me. I just look fat. Like I want to have muscle and make it look good. So I'm trying to find that balance there between being bigger and leaner. Like bigger and lean, period. Bigger and lean. Like I can be big just for the sake of being big. I could put on another 20 pounds in the next like 2 months easily. But I don't look good fat. Like, I look good with clothes on. When I'm wearing clothes, I look great. Like sure, like bulked up. But as soon as I take my shirt off, I just look like a doughboy. So I don't want that. And if you're wondering what I'm eating, by the way, I'll do some what I eat in a day videos. But generally speaking, what has it been, Kara? It's been quinoa, buckwheat, peas, sweet potatoes, squash, hemp seeds. Yeah, hemp seeds, big on hemp seeds. Bananas, papayas, coconut water. Tremendous amount of coconut water. Tomatoes, tomato sauce. Yep. Some mustard. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. So that was it. We got 34 people here live. That's amazing. I want to thank you all for being here. That's really cool of you all. If you guys want me to go live more often, just type live in the chat right there. I'm gonna delete this video in a couple days, and I'm gonna make a higher quality video. But I'll take notes from this video, and I'll make sure to apply those to the new video I make. Maybe I'll make it like 25 things I've learned from eating cooked food. But I do want to go live more often and connect with you all. And I would love to see you all this summer at the Canada Vegan Fest as well. Do you still practice NoFap? Yes, still practice NoFap. I've been trying since 21. I'm 26 now. Never beat 90 days. Yeah, I don't think I've beat 90 days either. Maybe I have gone just over 90 days or something, but I don't care about the streaks. It's not about the streaks. It's about getting back on track every time you slip up. It's not about the streaks. It's like, do you consider yourself a runner if you run 7 days a week? Of course. Are you still a runner if you run 6 days a week? Of course. Are you still a runner if you run 3 times a week? It's up to you. Call yourself a runner if you want, if you run 3 times a week. But something's awesome, do it every day. And NoFap is something awesome. I do NoFap every day. But if I ever slip up, then I'll just get right back on track. What's more important to me than NoFap is no porn and no blow, no nut. And right now we're in no nut November. So that's really important to me, not busting, not blowing the load. And again, same thing. If I slip up, let's get back on track. But don't beat myself up over it, and don't beat yourself up over it. What else, Kara? Anything else? That's it. Wow. Well, that was a 27-minute live. Talked about 13 things I've learned from cooked food. A lot of you guys probably missed the start of it, but like I said, I'll make another video. You can watch it later. Where I go into detail on that. I just wanted to come on live and speak my thoughts about this for the first time. There is a belief that cooking damages the fiber, making food move through us slower, causing us to back up, causing the lymph to back up. Do you believe this? It definitely moves through us slower. That's a fact. It definitely moves through us slower. Cooked food moves through us slower. I don't know about any of the other stuff, but it definitely moves through us slower. And by the way, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this cooked food phase. It could be a forever thing. It could just be another couple months thing. I could do it seasonally, right? Eat the cooked food until about June or something, and then cut for the summer on 100% raw. All I know is that I have a goal, and I'm using cooked food to help me accomplish that goal. I'm using food as a tool. I'm not using it as a label to confine me in any way like that. Veganism is another story. I want veganism to keep me in this ethical box. I don't want to step outside of that for the sake of vanity, or for the sake of convenience, or for the sake of, meeting social norms. I would happily stay in this weird vegan box and not contribute to animal cruelty. Does cooked food put on weight because of more water, not muscle? Cooked food puts on weight because of a few things. I think the main reason, though, is just more calories. Makes it easier to put on more fat. That's for sure. That's the easiest thing to put on when you eat more cooked food. Just more fat, more water. Probably the salt makes you hold more water. But I think it just lets you put on more fat. And then with that fat, you can lift heavier weights, and you can build more muscle, and then you can recover, I wouldn't say, I don't know if recovery is better or easier on cooked than raw. Um, you think I know, you think I know what the differences are working out with raw and cooked. Um, all I know is I feel stronger in the gym. I definitely feel stronger in the gym. Um, I'm hitting PBs in the gym, but I don't know if that's because of the cooked food or that's just because I'm at this time in my life where I'm being very, very consistent with it. I'm tracking every single workout I do on my phone. Whereas before I just kind of winged it and hope I would, get strong. But now I'm tracking every single exercise, every single rep. It all gets cataloged, and I'll be happy to share that with you guys in the future if you're interested in seeing what I do in the gym. When I'm on bra with fasting, I don't fap, but I constantly slip up with surrounding environments, aka demons. Uh, Barry says, "What made you want to have larger muscle and over more lean look? Did you just fancy it?" I want to explain what leanness means. Leanness, like I used to be really skinny, and I was also potentially lean in some people's eyes. But leanness means you have a lot more muscle than you do fat. And so if you don't have any muscle, like you're just a super skinny chick, there actually could be up to like 50% body fat. Like you're actually very, very fat. People would think, oh my God, she's so skinny, she has no fat on her. If she's super, super skinny, all she has on her is fat, right? So when I was super, super skinny, I was actually very, very fat. I had high body fat percentage because I had no muscle. The leanest people, by definition of the word lean, the leanest people are actually big bodybuilders. The guys with like 3-4% body fat, they're bodybuilders. Even marathon runners aren't that low body fat because they're so freaking skinny. They don't have any muscle on them. I mean, they have some muscle to run, but not muscle all over the body, just in their legs mostly. So even marathon runners, top marathon runners, aren't as lean as big bodybuilders. Um, so I used to be super, super skinny doing triathlon. And I just decided to put triathlon on the shelf. So I don't want to compete anymore. I want to create. I want to make content like I'm doing right now, going live, putting on ebooks, putting on video courses, creating festivals, or creating. I love creating. I don't like competing. So I put triathlon on the shelf. I said no more competition, no more races. And I just stopped triathlon altogether. I haven't biked ever since. I haven't gone in a pool ever since. I still run, but not competitively, just recreationally. Um, and as a result of not doing all that cardio, I started to gain some weight. And I was like, well, might as well do something with this weight. Um, and yeah, I just, like you said, I just fancied it. I just fancied the idea of like, hey, what would happen if I start working out and putting on muscle? And every time I look in the mirror now, I love it. It's like people saying, oh, why are you so into how you look? It's like, we all pick, every time you go shopping, you care about how you look. You wouldn't buy those jeans, you wouldn't buy that shirt if you didn't care about how you look. So I love to be topless most of the time. Like 80% of the time I'm topless. Only time I put on a shirt is when I go in public or I make a video. The rest of the time I'm like half naked. So I want to make sure that reflection looks pretty damn good. Plus it just feels good to be in the gym. Lifting heavy, heavy. Okay. You sound knowledgeable. Check out the YouTuber Carbon Nation TV. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just know about uh, about myself a bit. I'm an expert in myself, professional in myself, but don't know about. I don't know about a lot of things. One book though, one amazing book, by the way, is one amazing book, by the way, is called A Short History of Nearly Everything. And when you listen to that book, you learn a lot about a lot of things. That book's amazing. A Short History of Nearly Everything. That book is so good. Listen to the audiobook. So, so good. Okay, well, Tara and I are going to go to bed so we can get up early. It's already too late. And I will hasta luego. See you all later. Do you offer personal training? Yeah, I do. I offer meal planning, workout planning, and nutrition advice and workout advice. If you want one-on-one coaching with that, you can email me at ted@tediscool.com with the subject line coaching, and we can talk about how that works. Vigilant truth seeker. Well, that's it for now. Like I said, I made these 13 points here to share with you guys everything I learned from eating cooked food. And I would love to meet you all in person this summer at the Canada Vegan Fest, happening August 7th to the 10th. You can go to canadaveganfest.ca. I thought it was happening August 9th. She would have been late. August 7th to the 10th. Ted, you are literally one of my spirit guides. Oh, it's too funny. You mentioned your mom before, and I'm wondering if she's raw vegan. She's high raw. She's raw mostly throughout the day, and then at dinner she has a cooked vegan meal, which is usually half raw as well. So she's mostly raw. But yeah, we gotta go to bed. We gotta be up early. Trying to wake up at 5 a.m. every day here. But the only way to wake up at 5 a.m. is to go to bed like at 8:30, and right now it's 9:30. So I don't want to wake up super early when I'm tired, but gotta wake up at 5 a.m. if I want to get a lot of work done without distractions. Okay, peace. Terry, you want to be on camera? Let's show. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. First time ever being on YouTube. Don't worry, it'll be brewed in a couple days. Yeah, okay. Well, peace. Ciao for now. Much love. Thank you all.